Shalom, this is Ashar Basharala at the Lions Den Camp, local Jetsville, Florida. First and foremost, I like to praise and honor and glory to the Father and the Son and the perpetual return. Call, Halam La, Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, Bashim, Harakak Kudas Ma'amah. Also, double honors to the elders, Apostle GMS, and double honors to our apostle as well, Aharawan Basharala. He's the best to 1/3, and Sanctuary for elect. It's going to be a quick little lesson going on Jake, going on not being perfect in these bodies and not sinning, and it being kind of blasphemous to think that you are. We want to be perfect. We want when the Lord come back. Revelation 1:7 when he come on the cloud and he looks at his people. We want one of them people. We want to be them people and to see a mirror. Within us, being the mirror image of Yahweh Shah. Yahweh is part of that number. Yahweh is that's what the Lord sees in his men. Nonetheless, and he will see in his men. The ones that call up his holy name, Yahweh Bashim Shah. Out of the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, and speckled birds are people that look like the other nations. All right, but nonetheless, it's going into sin and being perfect. A good lesson. No one is perfect on this earth, and just like IUIC or GOCC, mainly IUIC, they teach that you have to follow 100% of the laws to be saved and to get salvation and to be in the kingdom. That is impossible. That's impossible to do. The Lord never said to follow 100% of the laws, man. He said, there's having information within the scriptures. You got to follow the laws and statute commandments to the best of your ability. You have to have faith, and you have to have hope, and you have to have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that the Lord bestows unto you in the first place. All right, and pray without ceasing, and study to show yourself approved. So knowing that the name of the Lord, and you knowing the name of the Lord is Yahweh, which is the Father name, and the Son name being Yahweh Shai, and you calling that the Jebus, Yahweh, Yeshua, it's only supposed to be one name you calling that, but you calling that the multiple because you don't really lean on that name. You lean on any name except for the name Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right. And if your doctrine not there, I'm gonna do a lesson. But the dude got the name all the way. But I might just research a little more on him and his camp or whatever. But they got the name totally. But I believe it got to be like GOCC or something. I don't know. I ain't gonna do too much research. But they follow the name completely. But they believe in hell and some a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm like, what? They follow Yahweh Bashim Shai. Usually GOCC or IUIC, they be saying Jebus to where they be saying Christ to where that's a clear indication that they're not truly in the truth, like they're entry level simply. All right, but nonetheless, just going back to the main point, nobody's perfect. There's nobody on this earth that's perfect other than Yahweh Shai. All right, and he's sitting on the right hand side of the Father right now. All right, so this is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 19. It says, "Wisdom strengtheneth the wise, more than 10 mighty men which are in the city." So, man, wisdom, and knowledge and understanding should be the stability of our time. Knowing that you have to have this wisdom bestowed upon you from Yahweh Bashim Shai and through the Spirit of Truth. That's the strengthening factor. Having the knowledge and understanding. It's better than anything on the earth right now, which is wisdom is the most powerful thing in the universe. More moving than any emotion. All right. See, verse 20 is, "For there is not a just man upon the earth that doeth good and sitteth not." All right. So it's illogical for you to think that you can not sin your whole life. You can easily touch one woman, she be on mixed life, or you easily wear a shirt, mixed cloth. You can easily like 10 minutes in the Sabbath and you start cooking, or 10 minutes, 20 minutes in, you start cooking or doing something. Uh, and they believe in IUIC and amongst other camps. I do believe they believe in Friday, Saturday. Shalakia. But yeah, they don't believe in moon. They don't follow the new moon for the Sabbath. But nonetheless, we'll keep going with this. This is Job chapter 9, so verse 20. It says, "If I justify myself, my own mouth shall condemn me. If I say I am perfect, it shall also prove me perverse. Though I were perfect, yet would I not my soul, I would despise my life. This is one thing, therefore I said it. He destroyed the perfect. He destroyeth the perfect and the wicked. If the scourge slay suddenly, he will laugh at the tribe of the innocent." Well, I'm just go back to verse 20. That's the main point. It says, "If I justify himself, it's like if I justify myself, my own mouth shall condemn me. If I say I am perfect, it shall also prove me perverse." No person can go up to the Most High and say that they are perfect. That they only prove that that they're not perfect. Um, and within saying that, that's a sign of pride. It says though I were perfect, yet I would not know my soul, I would despise my life. So kind of even if you were in that sense, you're not gonna take pride in it, and you're not gonna proclaim it to the Most High Yahweh by my side either. The Lord does make known whom He deems just or perfect, in His eyes. But still nonetheless, the ultimate factor is, if you're a faithful and humble and meek servant for the Most High Yahweh by my side, because I want to be perfect, and of course you not lie or Job or Abraham or few of the prophets. I don't want to say none, but nonetheless, just going back to that, if I justify myself, my own mouth shall condemn me. If I say I'm perfect, it shall also prove me perverse. So, all right, no one on this earth is perfect. You can't follow the laws perfect. You can only do what you can do to the best of your ability. Work on yourself to the best of your ability, and work out your own salvation. That's the best thing to do in this life. That's what this life offers. It offers wisdom, knowledge, understanding from across the four winds. You see everything on a unicorn or in real life in front of your eyes, either secular or very important global economic, or whatever the case may be. And you can put it towards the scriptures, put it towards the times, and know these signs of times, and then become a better prophet, woman, or child. All right, it's Isaiah chapter 64, verse 6 says, "But we are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags, and we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities, like the wind, have taken us away." So man, it says our righteousness are as a filthy rag. Ultimately, we can only do so much in the eyes of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. But we're only gonna do what we ought to do in the first place, which is follow these laws such members to the best of our ability, praying without ceasing, using wisdom, knowledge, understanding, as a stability of our times, which we are in the biblical times. People don't believe that. Someone just said that the other day. I'm like, oh, all right, we in the book of Revelation. To think like Revelation 9, talking about World War II. This is we're in the biblical times right now. And the scripture talking about prophecy as well. Multiple. Talking about America being formed, and talking about Revelation talking about America ending. In the kingdom. All right. So it says, "And all our righteousness are as filthy rags, and we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities, like the wind, have taken us away." All right. So it's nothing we can do on this life to be completely perfect. We can try our best and that's the only thing that can make us perfect is meekness and humility. But that's only through the Lord renewing us and having new bodies as well. These are this is the flesh of Adam that has to be cut off. We want new bodies. We want to be raised up like a calf in a stall. We want fighting body. you know, uh, Flesh and blood should not inherit the kingdom of heaven. So there's knowing that we only gonna try our best and do our best to the best of our ability and through the spirit, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Bashim outside. Nothing else. Not being unrighteous. Try to follow the 100% of the laws. Try to do your best. Because just like IOIC and the bishops say, they talk about where your fringes, but the fringes are like to symbolize the laws, statutes, and commandments. Being 613, 612, you want to count out the sacrificial, being the Lord being the perfect sacrifice. Once again going to the lesson, but the bishop will reply, "Where are your fringes on your law, or your fringes on your spirit?" So we gotta hold our standard purely spiritually. Not physically, where you see a whole bunch of camps put fringes on their shoes and shirts, and nothing wrong with it. You can be righteous. It's cool, but to glorify that and take pride in it is just a whole nother spirit. If it's ultimately not through the Lord and truth and honesty, you don't want to do that out of pure like pride or vain glory, vain man glory. So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 16. It says, "For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet inward man is renewed day by day." It's going into our body. Our body is not perfect. Our body is perishes. We have sin. We can perish here in this place. You ought to pray not to. We ought to pray to be part of the 1/3 or the 100 for the 1,000 ultimately. You have to sound part of that number. But the spirit is the only thing that can be even close to something good, because that's what the Lord is judging when he looks into your soul. He's looking at your spirit, not your body, because these bodies is vain. Not important. Only thing these bodies are suitable is for us to speak out of our mouths and tell our people what's going to happen to this place, being to our people being destroyed, economic collapse or crying for wine spiritually in the streets. MOTB. See, I be tempted to say the whole thing. I ain't this bullshit. I might just have to test it one day, but nonetheless, yeah, the bullshit. I'm always say the RFID chip that Esau and these elites is going to push, ultimately being that mark of the beast. They ultimately want to push that, and shoot, after that you might well count your days, Esau. Count your days, 2/3 heathens. The Lord is gonna have to come back for his men. That's that sign. Boom, pow, that's that mark. But you don't want that Korah one. You want that the wall. You want the mark of redemption, not the mark of cutting your skin. All right, this is James chapter 2. I'm verse 9. It says, "But if you have respect to persons, you commit sin." And no, I'll start at verse 10. It says, "For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all." So nonetheless, if you break one, you break them all, man. It says, for he that said, "Do not commit adultery," said also, "Do not kill. Now if thou commit no adultery, yet if thou kill, thou art become a transgression of the law." All right, so each law, such commandment, you break one, you basically you break them all, man. You're ultimately transgressing against the law. That's how the Lord set it up to where now you're not supposed to be boasting. You're not supposed to be boasting that you keeping the laws perfect. I'm pretty sure there is probably a few brothers and a few dudes in IOSC or GLC or somewhere where they actually straight up probably boast that they follow laws 100%. I think I spot. I don't want to just say nothing out of my mind or whatever, but I do believe some have claimed that, and I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know why I think that, but I mean, I know why. I mean, but nonetheless, once again, it says, "For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend it in one point, he is guilty of all." All right, so follow the law, touch remembrance to the best of your ability. Cannot follow them perfect. Try to the best of your ability. Nonetheless, that's what you. That's the main point. Is having faith and hope. You know, faith, hope, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, truth, the spirit of truth. You know, these are way more uh, factors. You know, because you can't even follow 100% of the law anyway. So you might get that in your head, follow the best of your ability. That bring in faith and hope and wisdom and knowledge and truth. Everything that you need more so. This is Romans chapter 5 and start at verse 9. It says, but much more than much more than being now justified by his blood, you shall be saved from wrath through him. For if when we were enemies we were reconciled to Yahweh by the death of his son, much more being reconciled we shall be saved by his life. And not only so, but we also joy in Yahweh through our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, by whom we have now received atonement. Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for all for all like you, for that all have sinned. For until the law, sin was in the world, but sin is not imputed when there is law. Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of that was to come. I'm gonna have to break that down. Anyways, well, starting verse 1 says, much more, then being now justified by his blood, we shall be saved from the wrath through him. Ultimately being justified by the blood of Yahweh Mashiach, having not being fully judged by the laws and transgression, you know, basically being put to death by those, but being saved by Yahweh Bashim Shai, but being saved by Yahweh Shai through atonement and through salvation, knowing that you can still break the laws and you'll be transgression, but you won't be put to death for it. You know, you won't be put to death for it. On top of but you're still supposed to follow to the best of your ability. You know, but just the main point revised. You know, Yahweh Shai is the only person that can follow it completely. He died for our sins. You know, don't think that we can just sin willfully, but we're not supposed to sin willfully, but we also can't follow to the 100% of our ability, but try to follow to the best of your ability, you know. But come, man, that's a little less I just want to go on. You know, you can't be perfect. Yahweh Shai is the only perfect being, you know. But come, man, Yahweh, this all that was an edifying little lesson. So shalom.